Big story, and it's not the Nebraska-Iowa game. It's Greg McDermott, the coach whose success has made him the face of Creighton basketball, is stepping away. Our sports director, Clayton Collier, joins us live with what we know about this decision. Clayton?
Hi, Brian. When Creighton named Alan Huss as Greg McDermott's coach in waiting last year, the Blue Jays did not specify when the transition would take place. Mac simply said when he felt the time was right. Today, the winningest coach in program history announcing that time has come. McDermott announced he will retire at the end of this season once the Blue Jays have finished playing in next month's Crown basketball tournament. Mac won 365 games in 16 seasons on the Hilltop and led the Jays to 3 Sweet 16s and the program's first Elite Eight since 1941. He ushered the Jays from the Mountain Valley into the Big East, and since joining in 2013, the Jays ranked second in the league in victories over that span. And beyond basketball, the McDermott family's legacy is what you see right here, the creation of the Pinkout game. Creighton's annual event has raised more than $1 million for cancer-related causes. The Blue Jays have already named their practice facility after McDermott. They did that last year. Creighton also plans to hang a banner in Mac's honor next season. A news conference is scheduled for Wednesday morning. Brian?
And of course, we'll get to follow him in the Crown tournament as kind of a farewell to Greg McDermott. Clayton, thank you.